Now, you may have seen the video of pianist Maria João Pires realising she had prepared to play the wrong piece of music for a concert only as she was on the stage in front of an audience and as the orchestra struck up. It is the stuff of nightmares. Well, after I spoke about that moment on my Classic FM radio show and put the clip on social media, it went viral and millions of you have now seen it. And we are all completely captivated, in awe of Maria's ability and also wanting to know how she felt in that moment. So I'm absolutely delighted to say that she's joining us now to tell us in her own words. Welcome, Maria. Thank you so much for agreeing to talk to us about this. Take us back to that moment when you realised you had learned the wrong piece. You were prepared to play something else completely.
Yes, I didn't learn the wrong piece because both were wrong. I was replacing somebody, and another artist, and it was the general rehearsal. So the general rehearsal in Amsterdam many times is with full hall. There were 2,000 people in the hall, and they called me the night before at 9:00 in the evening, asking if I could come to Amsterdam to play the concert, and we misunderstood ourselves. I heard and I understood 488 instead of 466. KV. How do you say it in English?
The piece, yes, it was the Mozart concerto, piano concerto that you were expecting.
Yes. KV 488, that's what I understood. And it was 466. So I went in the next morning very early, and the 488 I had played it a couple of weeks before, so I could remember very well. The 466 I played perhaps 10 months before, and this I would start to forget. That's how the memory functions, and people, when they see that, the panic, and perhaps they don't know the reality is that we lose our memories after a couple of months, slowly.
I think,
goes down.
To be fair, I think everyone will be very familiar with that sense, and particularly the fact that you were on a stage in front of an audience and there was a camera picking up your reaction to it. So talk us through how you felt in that moment when you realised.
I'm normally I normally feel very stressed on stage. It's not the stage, it's not the public, it's the responsibility. I feel insecure, and that's why I'm not a stage person. Somehow, there's one side of me that feels okay. I feel okay with the people, but being on stage and being responsible for something can give me some panic. So I didn't have a panic attack, but I was kind of very scary.
And it's so clear. Yes, sorry. It's so clear on your face. And actually, the moment that your cue comes and you start to play, it looks seamless. If you were listening, you wouldn't know that there'd been an issue. It seems like there was no problem. But right up until that moment, you looked like you were in utter disbelief and that you just didn't trust that you could do it.
Yes. And Shai kept saying, yes, you may do it. You can do it. You played it. We played it together. You played. But I have a normal memory. I don't have an exceptional memory, And there are musicians who have an exceptional memory. In my case, I am very, very average.
It had been 10 months, though, had it, since you'd played that particular piece?
About a little bit less than a year, perhaps 11 months, something like that. And that's the moment where you start losing the memory of the details. Yeah, there are many. You have the memory, the mental memory, the brain memory, and you have the body memory, which means coordination, coordination movements, And these two memories have to work together. They have to be one. And if they are one, they work together. So if one fails, the other knows. So that when you start make an analysis of your capacities on an instrument, between the brain memory and the body memory, it's kind of this is extraordinary how our body functions.
Absolutely.
Yes,
So it's there in the muscle memory, but obviously in that moment, and what we were sort of seeing unfolding on your face was the rising panic, the horror of realizing you weren't tapping into that, and at some point you just managed to, and it just flowed. So how did you keep a lid on that panic?
This is the moment where I don't lose the fear, but I lose the tension, is when I accept. Is the moment where people accept everything in the end. And if they accept quick and well, then normally it goes better. Then the panic goes away. Acceptation is something very important to be conscious about, because when you accept something, you see like a miracle. Things come back to you. You are in all your capacities, all your it's like a miracle. It's funny, but I feel it. And many times on stage, people like myself don't lose the panic because they don't accept. And the acceptation is a lot about your ego. You want to do well. You don't want to show yourself as a person that is failing. You don't like that. It's like losing friends, losing people who are there to listen to you. So it's like failing, And if you accept that is an event, that there's nothing happening if you fail.
That's extraordinary to hear you describe that, because I think we can see that on your face when the panic goes and the calm descends, and you're saying it was that moment of acceptance. I am here. I have no choice. I have to do this. And you also mentioned the conductor, Riccardo Schai, and he just seems like the most extraordinary cheerleader on the side, saying to you, go for it. You can do this. Did he handle it just right as far as you're concerned?
Yeah, he was right. But conductors are normally very confident about themselves. So they think others are also very confident about themselves. So there's a gap between the conductor and the soloist. Yeah, normally, yes, because, it's different challenges, different works, different attitudes,
Yeah.
And, but I think all is about acceptance.
But that's then potentially terrifying, because he effectively left you then to sink or swim. And if you hadn't have got that moment of acceptance, it could have gone completely differently.
It would go wrong, yes. And also the love you can feel for the people. I call it, I don't know, it's like a friendship. You love the people at a certain moment. You feel they're there to listen to music, and then we share the music, and that helps a lot.
Did you feel that because in the room? Did you feel people willing you on? Do you think people were aware as they were watching that something was going wrong in your mind?
I just feel the energy of the people, but the people have also to feel yours. So if you are very scared, then people don't feel something positive. They don't construct with you the concert. The concert has to be done between all of us, and I'm not giving something that they take. It's opposite. We are giving each other because we share something.
And do you think that they and you and he and the orchestra realised when it was over that something really exceptional had happened in the room that day?
I think, yeah, somehow it was a funny event, extraordinary and different. Yes. Yes.
But how do you feel about it in terms of where it sits in your career? Is it a high moment for you?
No, no, no. I think this was an event. This was something funny, something. It's like a joke. It was not a joke because I suffered a bit for a moment, but it's not a high moment. High moments were for different reasons, perhaps, and other moments.
You mentioned that the reason that things went a little bit wrong was the mishearing on the numbers when you were being drafted in to stand in for the concert the night before. I'm guessing that ever since then you make very certain that you check very carefully what it is you've got to play for a concert.
Yes, because I must say this happened to me another 2 times in my life.
Oh, God.
But it was not filmed. So in total 3 times. I hope it never happens again.
So, well, look, every Sunday on my Classic FM show, I play a long piece for what I call Stop the Clock. It's when we can all take a moment, forget what is going on around us, listen deeply and just immerse ourselves in the music and the moment. And I thought of doing it because we can so easily lose focus and our equilibrium in busy and very stressful lives. And music can be so restorative. And you demonstrated there in that moment such focus and calmness. Is it something you practice?
I practice, yes, I do. I do a lot, even on my daily practicing or during concerts, during rehearsals. I practice a lot. It's a bit of meditation. It's like being focused but not being cut. Be in yourself, but not cut from outside. You can listen, you can hear, you are conscious about all your surrounding. At the same time, you stay with yourself. The answer comes. The answer is sometimes not only studying, analyzing the score, but also being able to hear, to listen,
and to feel.
I don't know if
Yeah.
make myself.
No, I was not interrupting because it was absolutely beautiful what you're saying, and it's very clear what you mean. And I think it's very helpful for people to hear how you do have that ability to go into yourself, and it's something that is good for us all to be able to do. And just one last question to you. What for you is the power and the magic of music?
The magic is in the music. The music is a music and art. Normally I define it as the road between the human being and the universe. So there's a road, and somehow in the roads you find all this magic because you bring them together. There's a connection going, and that's how I feel it. But you can describe it many other ways. How people describe magic, I don't know.
Maria, it's just
Yes.
such a joy to talk to you. I knew it would be great to talk to you, but it really has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you very much. I hope the rest of your day goes well.